And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about helping you understand your buying decisions, and we appreciate all the uptick in calls lately. And we are a interactive radio and TV show, so we want you reaching out, calling us, texting us, sending us emails through the website. 813-670-7372 is our consumer advocate hotline number. 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell
Save our
phone.
hotline number in your phone. Also, bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors from our website. You can also email us from consumerqb.com. Uptick in calls lately. Lots of people wanting to reach out and find out what's going on with real estate, credit, finance, estate, and tax planning. Over 80 categories of consumer advocate content and advice right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're 4 o'clock drive time, AM 860 The Answer. Got a weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone as well, and we're syndicated on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and 85 other smart television outlets. And yes, you can find us on your smart televisions at home. Just search Binge Networks, and you'll be able to find the Consumer Quarterback Show there in case you want to catch up on some of this great content that we have, helping you win in any marketplace. And we don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. And we've got an all-star lineup today for you. We got Alex Lima in the house, Blackbelt Fitness. Welcome back in, sir.
Always a pleasure, man. Love being here on the show.
Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts Club. And you got a competition coming up. We're going to talk about self-defense on the show. And you got an event or a charitable organization, Gigi's Playhouse, that you work with here locally.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, we're going to jump into that. And Stephanie Rosario in the house, representing Frank Charles Miranda Law. Welcome back.
Thank you, Brandon. It's always wonderful to be here.
My pleasure. Yeah. So what do we want to talk about today, Stephanie?
I talk a little bit about, the fraud that's going on, wire fraud, and the benefits of using a real estate attorney for your closings rather than going to a title company.
Just a standard title company. Yeah, there's lots of benefits there. So we'll talk about that. Talk about some of the wire fraud. We want to be your consumer advocate. It's really careful. You got to be careful out there when you're talking about wire fraud, things happening. Lots of scams. There's house stealing is a scam. It's the latest scam on the block, and we'll go through some of that, what to look for. We'll talk about title insurance and what it actually is and what it means and what you're doing there. And we have our feel-good story of the day. Got a boy that's bullied for his love of reading, and he gains over 240,000 followers on Instagram. So a pretty cool story here coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I want to give a big shout out to our friends at Golf Cart Depot right here in Tampa Bay. Golf Cart Depot. Say hello to Marty and his team at Golf Cart Depot. You can go in and test drive. They've got new and used golf carts on hand. Easy Go is the brand that I have. You got a Star EV, you got Cushman, pre-owned and remanufactured right here in Tampa Bay. Golf Cart of Depot here in Tampa Bay. 2 locations, Tampa, which is North Tampa, kind of Land O'Lakes area, and also in Clearwater. They've got 2 great locations. We'll make a personal introduction if you'd like to Marty and his team. If you're thinking about it, go test drive one and have fun. And you can use it for personal use or commercial use like I do. I go door knocking around my neighborhood in my Keller Williams red, beautiful golf cart with the black on black tires there, and I got my golf cart buddy there, Carter, with me today there on that day there in our back of our backyard overlooking Lake Tarpon. But yeah, we love getting out there, meeting our neighbors, door knocking, farming the community, and by Lake Tarpon there in Palm Harbor. So it's going to be a great show we got lined up for you here. Got a hot listing I want to let you know about. I just listed a car wash this week, 1410 North Betty Lane in Clearwater. This is a car wash that is a cash cow. If you're looking for passive income, cash cow opportunity, check out 1410. It's a Clearwater car wash at 1410 North Betty Lane, and there's lots of income streams coming in from this property. Cash flow, owner's motivated, and he will hold paper on it. So check out 1410 North Betty Lane, Clearwater, priced around $170,000. So it's a great opportunity right here in Tampa Bay. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. let's jump into it. So Alex Lima's in the house, and Alex has a local dojo, a training facility right here in Tampa Bay, right off of Waters Avenue, kind of close to the Veterans Expressway. But we talk a lot about self-defense on the show. You know, we bring Florida Firearms Academy, Thomas King, on the show, and he's actually the one who introduced us.
Absolutely, good buddy.
And
of mine,
yeah, awesome dude. But self-defense is one of the areas that we like to talk about and cover here on the show, just because people, a lot of times, they're just kind of blinded. They're looking down on their phone coming out of the mall. I mean, there's lots of things. What are some good tips that we might want to share with them with that type of thing in mind?
Well, like you just touched on, people being, the society we live in, we're big on just kind of being glued to our phones or really not paying attention. Honestly, I've seen people do everything but drive when they're sitting in a car. I saw a guy reading a book one time while eating like a breakfast sandwich on the interstate. It was absolutely nuts, but in Miami, it was true.
Yeah.
But yeah, situational awareness is number one.
Yes.
With everything, you have to be aware of what's going on around you. You got to just pay attention. Is a huge one. And then after that, that's the one you can do on your own without really any like additional training. You just have to kind of train yourself to do that. But then seek additional training. Your concealed weapons permit, go down to Florida Firearms Academy, learn how to prepare and train and know the ins and outs of whatever weapon you choose to as your personal protection for yourself and your family.
Right.
And then like I always say, like a firearm is a definitive answer in a self-defense situation if you're well trained with it.
Right.
But in the event you cannot get to your firearm, you run out of ammunition, or it's too close for you to pull it, you don't have time, you better have a backup plan, a contingency plan.
Right.
And that's where self-defense training comes into play, learning how to basically prepare your body for close quarter combat.
Yeah exactly. And I remember coming out of school, back in school, I was a wrestler, and I learned how to grapple. I just felt like a shift in my mind, like a paradigm shift. Hey, I can control the situation. A lot about hand control, a lot about controlling your opponent. But now that's been taken to the 10th degree with all the jiu-jitsu. And Ken Shamrock's my business partner, so we talked about this before. Gracie's. Now this has really come down to a science of how to control and lock joints and all that stuff.
It really is, and that's how I approach it. Like, a lot of places train for sport, or just kind of like for just like the fitness aspect. We really train like the art of war, like true, human combat and the ins and outs. And I have the benefit of being a paramedic for so many years. Like, I've studied the human body for a very long time. Wow. And and then I've been doing this stuff since I was 4 years old, turning 5. I'm no longer that age. I've been doing this for a long time. So I think we did the math one time. Like, I probably could have been a doctor like 5 times the amount of time I put into studying this this science. And that's how I approach it. It's like a science. That's how I teach my students. It's not just, hey guys, do this move and this and this. I want you to understand why you're doing it and why it works. Yeah. So that like a female can maybe come in and understand why the mechanics of this position is going to work on an opponent that is larger and stronger than she is. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Because if you can manipulate joints or utilize hand control, those situations, you're going to be in a much better position. And a lot about being aware. One of the couples I was meeting with recently, they had mentioned their friend. It was a friend. She was a realtor, used to be a realtor back in the 80s with something like Century 21 back in the day. But their friend that was on the team or something got killed, got literally murdered in a real estate showing. So it happens. Absolutely. You see it happening. You hear about it. But there's simple things you can do. Like when you're showing a property, open the door, let them walk in first. Yes. Don't turn your back to the opponent or the potential assailant, right?
Right. Yeah, because you never know. Look at people like Ted Bundy and like all this stuff. Like, people thought they were just like normal dudes. You never know what someone's like capable of until you really get to know them and know that person. Yeah. So especially as a real estate agent or something like that, you don't know this person. You have very minimal interactions and you don't know what their true intentions are. Yep. A criminal they think different than we do.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to be able to mask their true intentions. For sure. They're going to be able to use that, and especially with the real estate as a ploy to get somebody to a vacant house. Wow, of course, what a perfect combination.
Exactly. That's a prime opportunity to commit some sort of heinous act. Against another human being. So.
Now we're talking with Alex Lima here, Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts Club right here in Tampa Bay. He works with children, adults, in between as well. He's also working with Gigi's Playhouse. You got something coming up with them soon?
Yeah, Gigi's Playhouse, for those that aren't aware, they're a center for children and adults with Down syndrome specifically. Pretty cool because they're teamed with the Tampa Bay Lightning. So they got a lot of love and support going behind them and what they do. And a lot of these, I call them kids just because they're younger than me, but a lot of these kids, they're in their 20s and stuff like that. They're adults. They're friends of mine now on like Facebook and stuff, and we interact and they like my posts and I like their stuff. I got one guy, Tristan. He's pretty cool. They're all cool, but he has a dream of being a chef, and
cool.
he actually started like a little baking company and a food truck.
Nice.
Allows him to like sell his treats, and he comes and like this guy's an entrepreneur.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're just really cool people, man.
That's
They're
awesome.
very interesting, and I love hanging out with them. But yeah, I'm going down there April 16th, so next month, and I'm gonna do I've done it before, but I put on a special class with them, and I do self-defense work with them because they get picked on just like anybody else does, if not even more so.
Yeah.
And unfortunately they're not typically in a position. They're more trusting than we are.
Yeah. Exactly.
So in the event something turns south really quickly, I want them to be able to have some things that they can utilize to at least get away.
Yeah, that's important.
That's what I try to work with them.
Yeah.
But we make it fun, and we have a good time, and it was cool. There was probably I want to say there was like 30 people there last time.
Wow.
And it's really cool because I bring some of my guys from the gym, and we're all working out, we're hitting pads and stuff and talking and having fun. So I love doing it. I love
That's
doing
awesome.
stuff like that.
Yeah, the martial arts is not only a good knowledge to have, but it's a great workout.
It transcends barriers, man. Like there is no barrier. Kids, adults, people with disabilities, healthy people, any age group, anything, men, women. It doesn't matter your gender, your skin color, nothing. Like martial arts is for everybody. It's absolutely for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. All right, Alex Lima in the house, Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts Club. Check him out on Facebook. Just search up Blackbelt Fitness as well. Or is it Jiu-Jitsu? What's the Facebook?
Instagram is at blackbelt_jitsu. The Facebook is it's Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts Club, and you can also Google us. Well, we're 5-star rating on Google, Groupon, Yelp, all that stuff.
Nice.
So we're pretty easy to find.
Awesome. Alex Lima in the house. Coming up, Stephanie Rosario as well. We're going to dive deep into real estate. A lot of things happening in the market here. Also, title fraud, title insurance. What is it? Why do you need it? All those questions are going to be answered right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, our feel-good story of the day. Talk about his boy that's being bullied for his love of reading books. Well, he gains over 240,000 followers on Instagram. So pretty cool story coming up right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check us out online, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, just
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV. Hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Rosario.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember. Ask it to me about
Yes.
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections for
Backles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50+ show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, you know, we're one of the only states that don't give them back to life. We've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If
you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife, Lindsay, and I own and operate a top 1% real estate group here in Tampa Bay, and we were #1 in the office last month, so pretty cool. If you're watching our TV show version, top left, you'll see Brandon Lindsay Rhymes right there, top of our office. By the way, there's 489 agents in our office, and we're the top agent in the office for that month of January. So real excited about that. #1 office in Keller Williams for the entire Mid-Florida Regional MLS. So #1 team, #1 office, #1 real estate company in the world. So pretty cool combination there. We want to help you win when it comes buying, selling, or investing. So we would love to talk to you. All you have to do is reach out to our hotline or shoot us an email from our website at consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors as well. And we want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial, your business, your real estate, your self-defense wheel. And all of those spokes extending out, representing another one of our preferred partners, are on-air expert contributors that take time out of their busy schedule to come into the radio show here and serve as a consumer advocate. So we really appreciate them. We appreciate you as well, listening and viewing our TV show and supporting us online. Follow us at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook as well. And we would love to connect with you. And this segment is brought to you by Taps Restaurant. The official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Taps Restaurant over at the International Plaza on Bay Street. Excellent food, very delicious food. I love the bowls. They have different types of bowls. They've got seafood, all types of burgers as well, salads. Calamari is a great entree, or appetizer rather. Excellent food. Very friendly staff as well. The staff is super friendly. Excellent food. Ambiance is very fun as well. It's that cool vibe that you get from the West Shore Plaza there, International Plaza at Bay Street. Taps Restaurant, Bar and Lounge. Also, save the date. Wednesday, March 25th, we're hosting Tampa Bay's best business networking event. It's going to be a great opportunity for you to meet some of our show partners, some of our radio show expert contributors, and some of our real estate team as well. Wednesday, March 25th at Taps Restaurant, and it's going to be 6:30 p.m. over there at the mall. Come on out, hang out, meet us. We're going to have DJ Yahoo who's going to be spinning there, and he's going to be keeping the vibe, the energy going. An excellent opportunity for you to meet and network. And $15 on eventbrite.com gets you in the door. It gets you an appetizer and a drink, and to meet a lot of great business owners, salesmen and women there at Taps Restaurant, located at the International Plaza, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we are back here in studio. Our goal is to help you win. I got a hot listing here at 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. This is an office building right in the town and country area, 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue. Now, this is a large office. It's completely gated, so you've got all the privacy that you'd want, the completely gated and fenced off, and you've got security system throughout as well. Lots of TV cameras and CCTVs, huge conference room, great opportunity to train your staff, meet with clients. 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa, listed right around 400, mid 400s is the price point on that one. Great opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay, especially if you're a business owner and you're leasing, you're continually throwing away rent money to the landlord versus building your own equity up. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.com. All right, so we got Stephanie Rosario in the house. She's got a lot of experience around title and real estate, working closings, and helping us with our real estate closings as well with the Platinum MVP team. Wire fraud is an uptick. And then also closing at an attorney's office versus a title company. Why don't we start there? What are the advantages when you have an attorney on staff and in the office?
Well, when you have the attorney on staff in the office, you have an attorney right at your fingertips. If there's any questions, if there's an issue with the buyer and the seller at any point, at the beginning of the contract being signed or at the very end, at the closing table, we've got Frank Miranda right there in the office. And a lot of times things can be settled. If there is an issue at the closing table, Frank can walk in and settle it there,
right?
Which he has several times.
Because sometimes people want to renegotiate. They'll sorry to interrupt, but just want to add value. They're like, sometimes people they just think that they could. I don't know if it's a cultural thing sometimes, but I've seen it happen. I've heard it happen. Sometimes it's the day before. Sometimes it's the day of closing. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, they think they can come in there and have some kind of leverage and renegotiate the deal.
Right.
And that's not true.
And it's
you
not
shouldn't
true.
be able to do that. Some people maybe cave in some cases, but Frank Charles Miranda is not going to let you do that.
No, he's not. And and he's there for both sides, the buyer and the seller. So if there is an issue, he's right there to solve the problem. So I just feel, closing at an attorney's office, there's you have an attorney. We actually have 2 attorneys. We have Lauren Frieder in the office as well. So you've always got the knowledge. I just think it's at a better advantage for the real estate agents. A lot of real estate agents have questions throughout the process.
Yep. And
they want an attorney's advice.
Yep.
So right there, you can call our office and ask Frank a question. You're not going to get charged by the hour for asking a question, and he's right there in the office. So I think it's a lot of advantage to have a real estate attorney do your closings, rather than just go to the standard title company.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some advantages there, and he's had the background in real estate law. Mm-hmm. What other law does the practice have?
They are personal injury, so they handle accident cases as well. Mm-hmm. We have a real estate side of the office, and they have the personal injury side of the office. So again, if you're in a car accident, you can call Frank too.
and we're talking with Stephanie Rosario here, representing Frank Charles Miranda Law right here in Tampa, located right off of Cypress. They got an awesome office over there if you ever want to go and visit it, and we'll definitely introduce you. Now, so here, switch gears. Let's talk a little bit about real estate fraud. Here's some statistics that our producer James put together for us. The real estate space saw the second most malware events of any industry in the second quarter of 2018, according to Florida Realtor Magazine, that is November 8, 2018. Mortgage fraud risk jumped more than 12% year over year at the end of the second quarter of 2018, according to CoreLogic. And then 1 in every 109 mortgage applications is estimated to have indications of fraud. That's from 2019 Mortgage Fraud Report. So lots of fraud happening in the mortgage industry and real estate industry.
Yeah, there is. Unfortunately, the mortgage fraud is more or less, someone giving false information, trying to get that loan, trying to get that mortgage to purchase a house.
Right.
Still, nonetheless, it's fraud. So,
yep.
Not being on the mortgage side of things, we don't see that part of it, but we do see the wire fraud. We do see that, and we are constantly every day dealing with that. Hopefully people are listening to the real estate agents and to the title agents that are handling the file when we say, please call us and verify our wiring instructions. Do not send a wire. I don't care if it's for the $1,000 deposit. Do not send your wire prior to calling the title agent and confirming the wiring instructions.
That's right. So the golden rule of real estate title when it comes to sending money electronically is call before you hit click. Call before you click.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Call before you click.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So making sure, because we had Diane Vance on the show last week, and she had mentioned how I think it was a case that happened at their company, not at her specific team right here. She's based in South Florida, but she covers the entire southeast of Florida, and she covers, I want to say, like 36 different loan officers on our team. But it happened in California. $347,000 this family lost because they clicked without calling.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Pretty sad.
And it's sad.
Because it's gone.
Unfortunately, it's gone, and it happens.
And there's no FDIC, nothing like that, because it's not an insured bank account.
It's not insured. No.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's unfortunate, but some of that, that's people savings, maybe
Big
their
time.
lifetime savings.
That's a big chunk.
And it's gone.
$347,000. I mean, you can't live on that, but it's a good start,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Just kidding. Yeah, that's a lot of money. So we got Stephanie Rosario here, Frank Charles Miranda Law. You've heard Frank himself on the show before. We've heard from attorney Lauren Frieder on the show as well. So they've got a great team over there. Very, very competent, well-respected real estate firm and attorney group right here in Tampa Bay. Frank Charles Miranda Law. More from Alex Lima as well, Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts. We're going to dive a little deeper, and he's also a paramedic. So we're going to talk about, I want to ask you a little bit about PTSD and what you're seeing there, because we've had some of the attorneys on the show talking about how the laws have changed and how you can now file if you've seen a traumatic event, since there's so much stuff happening these days. And more from our expert contributors coming up right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And I love our feel-good story of the day. It's a good one. A boy is bullied for his love of reading, and then he gains over 240,000 followers on Instagram. So stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. We'd love to connect with you as well on Facebook and LinkedIn. So we'll see you right after this short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Rosario.
62, who knew? I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62, who knew?
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore.
Ask an attorney about Florida law.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, making you just a bit more street smart. That's our goal right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Giving a shout out to Infinity Medical Institute here in Tampa Bay, and they are over 10 years in business, over 40,000 patients that have been successfully treated over at Infinity Medical Institute, and they are the leaders in bio-natural hormone replacement therapy, pellet hormone therapy right here in Tampa Bay. And they've got many benefits. It's low T therapy, weight loss plans, cosmetic services such as Botox, improved sexual wellness, and increased energy over at Infinity Medical Institute. They've also got stem cells coming now as well. 1715 Northwest Shore Boulevard, suite number 100 in Tampa. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Infinity Medical Institute, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show right here in Tampa Bay. And we want to help you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. Of course, we would love to talk to you. Got a couple of hot listings here. Want to let you know about right here in Tampa Bay. We've got properties available, lots of vacant land available. I've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath right here in South Tampa. This one's 4207 South Del Mabry Highway, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, unit number 1203. Now, this is the Grand Key condominium community right here in Tampa Bay, 4207 South Del Mabry Highway. It's a resort-style 3-bedroom, 2-bath in-unit condo in the community, and you also have a pool right on site, close proximity to all that South Tampa has to offer. Great buying opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Also, 2689 Sable Springs Circle, unit number 105. It's a waterfront property. This is a condo, another end unit with views on all three sides of the property. That is 2689 Sable Springs Circle, number 105 in Clearwater. Check out all of our hot listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, so we got Alex Lima in the house, as well as Stephanie Rosario, Frank Charles Miranda Law here in studio. So Alex Lima, Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts Club here in Tampa Bay. Also, you work as a paramedic as well. So thanks for doing that. You know, we always want to say thanks to our veterans, our first responders, teachers. You know, there's so many people that are kind of lumped into that category of, sometimes
public service,
not appreciated enough, not paid enough, and, the different things happening there. But when you show up to a scene, a lot of times it's a traumatic event. The paramedics are showing up, and you dedicated your life to helping people with that. And you'd mentioned, the studying you've done. You could be a doctor at this point, with all the studying. Yeah. But talk to me a little bit about, have you seen anything that's kind of like a PTSD type moment, or what you see when you think about that?
Yeah, all the time, man. I've seen all kinds of crazy stuff, but to me, it's not crazy anymore. It's like it's become the normal, unfortunately. So, PTSD by definition is post-traumatic stress disorder. So it's just being exposed to a stressful situation and event on a regular basis. So even someone who is, let's say, in an abusive relationship, that's a form of PTSD. Right. That's become their normal. That's their everyday life. When they are no longer in that situation because they finally choose to leave or whatever happens, it's not an easy transition to go back to what is considered a normal, quote unquote, life, functional, So PTSD comes in many shape, ways, and forms. A lot of people, when you hear PTSD, you're thinking just in the military, being in a war zone.
Exactly.
I cannot tell you how many paramedics and firemen, I'll say even myself included, have some form of PTSD.
Right.
You don't sleep like a normal human being. You're on call 24 hours. I mean, imagine being in a dead sleep. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. You've been running all day for 16 hours or so. You finally get a chance to eat something. You lay down in bed, and then boop, rescue, whatever, boom, they start calling you, and then you're going to some, a shooting or something like that. Right. And you're supposed to wake up after being burnt out and perform at a high level. Because when you call 911, what do you expect? A professional to be there.
Exactly.
So you got to be there, even if you haven't slept or ate all day, and you got to tend to this person to the best of your ability as a high functioning, paramedic. Yeah. Or fireman, whatever position you're in. So,
yeah, exactly.
So it's crazy, man. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. I don't know why I keep doing it, but I keep putting myself in these situations. Now I'm even a little bit crazier because where I work specifically now, I've done trauma, I've done cardiac care. I've done a lot of things. Now specifically, I work with behavioral health and drug and alcohol withdrawal. So I'm seeing just the best of the best at all times.
The best.
So
exactly.
Yeah. But somebody's got to do it, right?
Exactly.
Somebody has to send to these people.
Thanks for doing that. Absolutely. Appreciate you. And, the thousands of other men and women that are, doing that for us, serving the community in the highest capacity, waking up at those hours. That's tough, especially if you had a hard day training, right?
Yeah, man. And that's the thing. To find that balance is near impossible. I say if anything that hinders me as an athlete is, like I said, I haven't slept like a normal human being in probably over 15 years, if not more.
Yeah.
So, and rest and recovery is absolutely critical and crucial to be able to perform at a high level,
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, it takes a toll on you as an athlete and as just as an individual in general.
And we're talking with Alex Lima here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts Club. And the reason why I bring that up is we have also attorney Coble, Jason Coble on the show. What he's brought to the show before is he talked about how the law changed 6-8 months ago, I think it was, where he talked about how prior to that law change, PTSD was not considered. It was not extended to
first responders and stuff. Yeah, no, I'm very familiar with that. Yeah. Essentially before the law was passed, I mean, dude, imagine you're going to fires, people burning down, people dying, injured children. Like, it's the worst of the worst. You see society at its worst.
Yeah.
You see some good things too. I've delivered babies and stuff like that. There's some wonderful things as well. But for the most part, it's not that sunshine and rainbows. And up until the law passed, the services were not offered for first responders. So you couldn't claim PTSD or be, per a doctor, be prescribed with PTSD and then seek, treatment that would be covered by your insurance company and stuff like that. Because up until that point, it was essentially just reserved for, military and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad they're taking a step in the right direction. There's other hazards as well. You think you're being exposed to carcinogens and stuff, cancer causing, fires and stuff like that. Listen, just because you're wearing an air mask when you're in a fire, when you get out, your gear just sat for 6 hours in a fire. Yeah. It is still offing gas.
It's everywhere.
It doesn't just go away.
Yeah.
So you have to decon properly. I mean, it's a process, So you're exposed to all kinds of hazards that people aren't typically aware of.
One of the things I was watching one of the sports shows. I love the sports shows where they follow the NFL teams around.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool. But there was an interesting story out of Philadelphia. The one I watched where they follow the Eagles around, right? The Philadelphia, how they won the Super Bowl. They did the Philly special with the quarterback throwback pass and stuff. Yeah. But it was pretty funny. There was a first responder kind of interview, and it was actually just a citizen who had caught a baby. They literally threw a baby out the window, and it was so funny because he said, "Yeah," they interviewed the guy. He goes, "Yeah," he goes, "at least I didn't drop him like so-and-so did." He called out the receiver.
No.
He called out the receiver on the team. I forgot which receiver was going through a spell of, having a couple drops.
Right.
But I just thought,
bad games.
That's a Philly fan for you though, right?
Just, call it how you see it, I guess.
Yeah. But it was pretty funny how they, he mentioned that on the show.
He wasn't lying though.
Yeah. And then that made national news.
Yeah. It's amazing what can go viral. You never know.
Exactly. Yeah, different world we live in now. So Alex Lima, you're talking to thousands of people right now. Who do you want to reach out? Who do you want to come in and visit you over at your dojo right there? And let's give the address for the Waters.
Yeah, 5638 West Waters Avenue, Suite D1. We're towards the back, just behind the Beamer specialist there. Anyone, specifically right now, I've added some additional classes. I have a morning class right now on top of my regular adult and children classes. There's a Friday 10 a.m. session that starts now. And also my daughter is finally training. I don't know if you had seen that. So yeah, I started an age group for like 3 and 4 year olds. So
nice.
Like we call them the little ninjas, little tiny ninjas.
Nice. That's cool.
They're training now. So I have a class going on for them as well. But my adult classes are almost at capacity.
Cool.
So I'm really looking to expand on my children's classes.
Cool.
But anybody and everybody that wants to train, we'll make room for you. We'll find a way to get you in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you want to
train? We're running
train
the special right now too, where it's a half off for the first month of training, so you can start for next to nothing.
Yeah.
On this fitness and martial arts journey.
I like that. So text martial arts or to our hotline. Just shoot a text message to you text Black Belt or martial arts to 813-670-7372 if you want to meet and get introduced to Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts. He's also a competitor as well. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. But text the word martial arts or black belt to 813-670-7372. We'll put you right in touch with Alex and get in there and start training and learning and defend yourself and all the fun stuff that goes along with that and get in great shape as well. So tell us about your upcoming competition, Alex.
Speaking of being in shape, like I am in shape right now, man. My body is a furnace. I'm actually having a hard time maintaining my weight. I'm actually underweight for my competition coming up at the end of the month. So I have to eat anything and everything that I can at the moment to just stay going. But so I'm going to be competing for an event called Grappling Industries. They're one of the largest growing organizations on the world right now. They do events internationally, so Amsterdam, Japan, Brazil. I'm doing the one here in Florida. At the end of the month. It's going to be submission only. It's my first time putting myself out there. It's my first time doing a competition where I'm not allowed to strike, where I'm not allowed to hit, so I can't use my knockout power. I have to rely just on my wrestling and submissions. Yeah. So I'm excited. I want to test myself like that. That's pretty cool. Put myself in battle like that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Got a training camp coming up next week with some really high level guys. I've been traveling, training with the right people. I feel good. I'm ready to go.
That's awesome, man. So, yeah. Quick tip: how do you get your body burning like a furnace?
Train hard on a consistent basis. Consistency is key, and then you have to be eating the right things to kind of tweak your body to be in that to start spiking your metabolism so that it just stays constantly in a burning state.
Right. I like that. Coffee, put the coconut oil.
Yeah, you can do the morning thing, the bulletproof fast. A little tip for everybody: you can do a coconut oil which has MZT in it, and some butter as well, and that kind of I don't want to say trick, but it kind of tricks your body into being in a fat burning state. Yeah, to start your day off like that, where you're already burning that calorie reserve that you had going in from the prior night.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm ready to go. And then once I get done with this competition, I actually have an international opportunity coming up in July.
Sweet.
That I'm looking forward to.
Cool.
And I'm actually looking for sponsors for that. I got people reaching out already, but that's going to be huge. That's
good.
That's going to be huge. I can't
awesome.
Wait to get that.
So you can sponsor Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts Club, in his journey to the championship.
That's it, man.
That's right. I love it. All right. Alex Lima in the house. Stephanie Rosario coming up as well. Frank Charles Miranda Law. Talk a little bit about real estate and how on the title side, people are stealing houses. It's the latest scam on the block, and we're going to expose it right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So stay with us. Plus, we have our lightning round coming up where we're going to give you some top tips, nuggets of advice, and parting words of wisdom right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Ian Beckles.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Rosario.
62, who knew? I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62, who knew?
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo!
Ask him to me about Florida law.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. Giving a shout out to our friends over at Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance, vitamins, minerals, electrolytes directly injected directly into your bloodstream. And the most famous one that you probably heard of is the Myers cocktail. Replenish IV Solutions right here in Tampa. Say hello to Stephen and Lisa Gunnan. Friends of the program for a long time now. Vitamin infusion drips, get that proverbial oil change, as some people joke about. But yeah, it's awesome. You go in, you get hooked up to a bag, and you're in and out in about 30 minutes or so. Vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, making your body feel good. And of course, when you feel good, you do better, you work better, and you're performing at a peak level. Carrollwood office right there at Barrison Del Mabry. South Tampa office on Gandy Boulevard. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got a hot listing for this segment. 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. Now, this is a commercial property, commercial asset. It's a corner lot, 0.82 acres right in Largo. Beautiful opportunity here to own a building, priced at just reduced by about $20,000 right here in Tampa Bay. Ideal for medical, office, retail, restaurant, goods and services, and a lot of cars driving by, over 50,000 cars a day coming by that property at 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. And you can check out all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, we got Alex Lima in the house, Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts. We got Stephanie Rosario as well. She is a title agent and works over at Frank Charles Miranda Law here in Tampa Bay. So for this segment, we want to talk a little about house stealing, the latest scam on the block. And if you're watching our TV show version, we've kind of broken it down for you here. We've got that put together up there. We'll put it on the screen. But so essentially, house stealing, how it works. It's saying con artist picks a home that can be vacation home, rental property. We don't want to walk them through every single step on how to do it, but they assume the identity, then they transfer the deed, and a lot of this can be done a lot easier than people think, right, Stephanie?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, again, it can be done very easily. Not to walk anyone through it, but sometimes you don't even have to, take someone's identity to do it.
Right.
Because if these crooks are out there creating warranty deeds on their own and recording them, there's nobody's checking identity. I mean, if they know a notary that will notarize that deed, unfortunately, they can steal someone's house that easy.
Well, you can buy them on Amazon now.
Oh, yeah.
You can buy fake stamps.
Stamps.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So warranty deed, that brings up another question.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference between a warranty deed and the quick claim deed, for example, or some of those questions that people sometimes ask?
The warranty deed is used when we do a closing. Quick claim deeds are kind of frowned upon.
Mm-hmm.
They're not insurable. Quick claim deed is not insurable.
Really? I didn't realize that. Yeah, because it's like, I'm going to sign this quick claim deed over to my cousin or whatever.
And even if someone says, hey, I want to give my house to my cousin, although I'm not an attorney, I would say don't do a quit claim deed. Just use a warranty deed. I mean, call a real estate attorney.
Yeah, call a real estate attorney, call a realtor that
Absolutely.
knows. We've got the legal hotline that we can
Right.
call. We can get in touch with, Florida realtors. That's one of the things they do that's great is we have a hotline we can call anytime, get questions answered pertaining to a specific file. We're not supposed to pass that information along as attorney advice, as they say.
Right.
But yeah, so the warranty deed, quit claim deed. So a quit claim deed is frowned upon. That's interesting, because you can't insure it in some cases, because if you are transferring title, there's a lot of cans, worms in that can that it opens up. You look at acceleration clauses in mortgage, so a lot of times people don't realize in the mortgage, there's an acceleration clause, a due on sale clause.
Absolutely.
A lot of those clauses say, hey, if you transfer this title, we have the ability to call the mortgage note instantly.
Yes.
Because they didn't qualify that person for the loan. They
Correct.
qualified someone else.
Exactly. And that's wonderful that you know that.
Yeah.
Being a real estate agent,
Yeah.
A lot of times we've got real estate agents out there telling someone, oh yeah, just buy in your name, and then later on you can change title. And no, you really legally you cannot.
Yeah.
But that is wonderful that you know that.
Yeah, it's tough. A lot of the realtors out there, they don't, they're kind of doing the fake it till you make it thing. And that, that used to work back in the 80s and 90s, but now it's, you get exposed if you start telling people that. And they're gonna throw some nice stuff on Google, and I don't mean it that way. I mean it the other way. But yeah, it's one of those things that they're not all realtors are created equal. There's a lot, that's the challenge that you see in real estate too. Is that there's everybody has a family friend that they want to help out, or the kid's soccer coach that's a good guy. Oh, he's a great guy. He's a good coach. He shows up. He coaches these kids. But you're literally leaving money on the table, or you're opening yourself up when it gets to these complex situations that come up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And there's challenges, and that's the thing too with the industry. With Keller Williams, we have Keller offers now, or you can do an instant offer. We can do the same thing they do with these other people that are blowing up radio and TV, spending millions of dollars on advertising. We can do a lot of that stuff as well. Keller offers is out there now, but the situation becomes where if you're getting bad advice and you don't know what the standards are and what to do, you get into a situation where you're signing a contract, signing an addendum, and you don't really know what you put yourself into.
Right. Yeah. So you have to make sure. I mean, I'm all about having a great team on your side.
Exactly.
So you have a wonderful real estate agent. When you have a great real estate attorney, title agents,
Yep.
you have a whole team on your side.
Yeah,
It's all about putting that good team together, to make sure you're being protected.
Exactly.
The realtors are going to protect you. The title companies, we're going to make sure, the real estate attorneys, we're going to make sure that, everything is done to protect you, the buyer or the seller.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
It's a fiduciary agreement. It's a
Absolutely.
capacity that you have, unlike a lot of the so-called wealth advisors out there that aren't fiduciaries that
Right.
claim to be. And anyway, that's a whole bunny trail
Yeah.
I could go down as well. All right, so let's jump into our lightning round. Let's jump into some tips and tricks and hacks here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
All right, here we go. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Stephanie Rosario, Frank Charles Miranda Law.
Well, I'm going to go off the subject for a minute. I want to let everyone know we have a little special going on. Real estate agents, if you need some help, we have a offer that we have a transaction coordinator that we've partnered up with. So we're offering a transaction coordinator for $100 a file.
Wow.
So I know,
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Contract to close?
Contract to close. Contract
Very
to
cool.
close. So if there's anybody out there listening, real estate agents, give us a call.
That's a great way to take your business to the next level. That's the first thing you want to do. Gary Keller wrote the book, Millionaire Real Estate Agent. The number one thing is he talks about is the leverage, the 3 L's, listings, leverage, and you got to list the last. That's number one. You get listings. But then if you leverage someone else's time, someone else's expertise, and it goes back to the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. You focus on going out and getting new business, originating new deals, and you allow that other person to cross the T's, dot the I's, do the paperwork push.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
awesome. That's a great offer.
We're here for you.
Frank Charles Miranda Law. Awesome. All right, Alex Lima, Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts Club.
All right, so the health expert in me has come out as a paramedic and a trainer. I just want to touch on the everybody, being kind of panicked about being sick lately, coronavirus, flu, and stuff like that. Remember that it is a virus, okay? And the main things are just like any other cold, flu, germs, right? Wash your hands, take your vitamins, stay healthy, work out at Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts Club. I'll teach you more. And, just watch out being in these areas where people are sneezing, coughing. If someone coughs on a door, don't touch that handle and then, put your finger in your mouth.
Yeah,
things
exactly.
like that. Stay safe. But it's just a virus like anything else. You just have to take care of yourself. The people that are at risk are the people that are more with underlying medical issues. So try not to freak out and be panicked about
basic stuff like that. Going through the airports, you don't need to hold or even the malls. You don't need to put your hand on the thing that everybody else touches. You don't need to hold the thing. You can get close to it, just in case you lose your balance.
Yes.
But I was going to throw a funny joke in there, a silly joke, but I drank a 6-pack of Coronas. I'm still good.
I know, man. As long as you have the lime, you should be fine.
There you go. It kills it, right?
Absolutely.
That's what they say. And so real quickly, I want to talk about Albert Morabian's 738-55% rule. Okay, this is communication. We all communicate every day. This is one thing you can think of to be better at communication. 738-55% rule real quickly says 7% of your communication is the actual words that you say. 38% is the voice tone, the tonality in your voice. The overwhelming majority, 55%, says the body language that you're using while you're saying those words and you're communicating. So that's Albert Moravian's 738-55% rule here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Donate some blood, donate some time. Lots of ways that you can be a force for good in the community. Swing a hammer for Habitat for Humanity. You can volunteer for some of our partners as well. Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll see you next time. ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.